we cannot thank you enough for your support of our mission. It is huge. Every dollar makes an impact, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm bringing you in from the back again because we have construction going on in the front. So, but this building here, first of all, when we go up front, I'll show you, but this bottom floor is a mirror image, okay? So on this side, not only do you have myself, but you have the accounts payable, and then also our speakers bureau, which we have a lot of recipients that actually speak on behalf of the Folds of Honor at events. So let me go ahead and bring you on up front. And this building took about a year and a half to build. We've grown, right?
Sure.
And we cannot, we're in the 50 employee range right now, 50
Very
plus.
nice.
And it's Friday, so most of our team is working remotely. So that's why you don't see a lot of people here. But this is our grand entrance, and we still got some tweaks going on. But here is the map of the United States, and all of these red pins indicate our chapter locations.
Right.
All right, so we're ever growing. And then our flag up here is our very first flag that was ever flown over the original Folds of Honor headquarters.
Nice.
And so I'm thrilled that we have that we're able to proudly display it. And I guess, you know, we're unapologetically American, right? But we're also unapologetically faith-based.
Right.
All right, so we're working on our announcement wall out front. All right, and then these little squares here that you see that are empty will have the boot prints in brass of some of our veterans who were killed in action. Here's our current numbers right here. So we're just thrilled, and I'll let you talk to Dana Dunn in just a moment, who will give us more information. But right now, we're extremely proud of his 91%. So 91 cents of every dollar is making it to our recipient. And of course, we have a merchandise store if y'all ever want to come in here and take a look. So here we have our Folds of Honor wall. This is our all of the partners, donors that made this building possible for us to come in debt-free. A lot of it with Associated Builders and Contractors, right? ABC of Oklahoma is the one who originally helped us with the very first headquarters and allowing us to go debt-free into that building, right?
Yeah.
And so this team here has made just a huge impact for us to be able to come in here comfortably knowing that we're not going to owe an arm and a leg to everybody.
Right.
Just for us to be able to work together as a team. We have our conference rooms here, and we're going to take you over here to this side, which is our scholarship team. They're the ones that do the due diligence to ensure that, I'll let Dana go into it more, but that the money's going where it's supposed to go with the right qualifications, right? And then we've just recently got this up, which is all of our core values are on the columns of our building here. We're extremely proud of these. Miss Dana. Miss Dana. She's working from home today. Who would like to give me the current numbers? Oh, I'll get Daniel then.
Oh.
All right, Daniel Andy. He is the director of our scholarship team. Sir. I would actually
put on the spot.
Yes, I would actually like to introduce you to Dr. Adney. He's just received his doctorate. We're very proud of him.
Congratulations.
We have Brown Boys here who is doing a tour, and of course you can see filming. And if you could give us some updated information, the amount of applications.
Yeah. Looking at last year, so our total awards last year were 9,322.
Wow.
Funded over $43 million in scholarships.
That's amazing.
So this year, we saw a huge jump in applications, went up over 40%. So we actually had over 18,000 applications between our two programs. Right now, we're in the process of review. We've gotten through about 3/4 of those. We're working on some final reviews to get some proposals put together and get some funding figured out. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some numbers solidified in the next month or so.
So how are applicants finding out? Like, how is this word of mouth predominantly, or?
Yeah, so we found out that out of our new applicants this year, that 7,000 of those actually found out from word of mouth. And so it was a family friend, it was a neighbor, the local VA told their parents, or another recipient had informed their family. So that was the biggest way that we found out that they were finding out about us. Other ways that they're finding out, corporate partnerships have also been a big stake that we had in that game. First responders, the biggest piece was the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Right.
And their Snowball Express that they do every year. And so that was our biggest growth point for first responders specifically.
Yeah.
How many first responders did we have apply this?
So this year we had over 300 first responder applicants. Last year we had 112. So we saw a threefold growth in first responder numbers.
Yeah.
We're hoping to award as many of those as possible. Last year, out of our 112 applicants, we had 80 that were qualified and 72 accepted funding. And so our hope is that we can follow that percentage and have close to 250 to 300 that actually accept funding this year. And I think the biggest thing we can do right now is push people to our webpage. So our foldsofhonor.org. And when looking at that, the scholarships tab is at the top. They can find specific information about both of our programs, what it takes to qualify, what it takes to apply. And then as well as giving the opportunity for them to ask questions. There are questions at the bottom that are frequently asked for us. So our FAQs at the bottom should update anybody on any questions they have, anything from payments to how do I qualify,
Sure.
how do I apply, and so all of our information is right there. That'd be the top place I would push people for that information right off the cuff. And I think the biggest thing as well is knowing the right time to get to the website, because we have some that come, if they look in June, we may not have the link to apply up. However, we are processing applications at that time.
Right.
So the best time to apply is February 1 to March 31. Outside of that, we want to get their information, we want to capture that, and we want to be able to reach out to them whenever that does open. So we're working on ways to keep certain links live on our website at all times to get that information, so that whenever it comes time to apply, we can simply email them from our system and say, hey, it's time, and then they know, and that way when they see the commercial in May or they get information in June, they can reach out and start that process and come back. And so we're working on a way to keep that live year round. The problem that we're running into is just the sheer number that we're getting, and having to make sure that we're keeping our system from getting clogged up at the wrong times. And when we're trying to access stuff, we want to make sure it's staying open at the right times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's a big thing too, is knowing kind of what our region looks like. If you'd like, I could find some information on specifically Arkansas to know exactly where we're at. Last year, off the cuff, I believe the number was over 200. I believe for the state of Arkansas, it was around 260, but that I would want to look at that number for sure. But we can provide that info if that's helpful at all.
I don't know if it's helpful or not. I never even considered this.
And so that is something that we do with a lot of our partners, look at what their footprint and what their impact is currently and how we can grow that. We also can look at how many students were unfunded in the state, just based on the sheer fact that we didn't have enough funding for everyone. And so we put the same structure on all applications to look at qualified applicants, and then we look at our state funding, restricted donations, things like that. But most of the time what we find is we're still having students in those states with significant amount of funding that are unfunded because the sheer number of applications.
A huge unmet need.
Absolutely.
Still to this, I mean, every day. I mean, because we are growing it's so quickly that I mean, word of mouth, of course, right?
Sure.
But I mean, every dollar makes a huge impact for our recipients.
Absolutely. We had over 3,000 students last year that we were unable to give access to funding.
That's got to be tough.
It's heartbreaking.
And this year, with that 40% increase, it has a chance of increasing, and knowing what our budget looks like, and it's a huge call to action, a huge opportunity for people to get involved, and there is a huge unmet need. So this year, the way I've tried to look at it is, last year we funded 9,300 students. This year we had over 18,000 applications. We had almost double what we were able to fund this past year apply. And so we know that there will be some students that go unfunded, and we're doing our best to make sure it doesn't happen. But at the same time, we know it's going to, and how to ensure that we're working with the right parties to lessen that number as much as possible.
Cool. Wow.
All right.
That's a
Well,
ton.
thank you, sir.
Thanks. It was good meeting you.
It was very nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
All right, so since the elevator is out, I'm going to take you upstairs via stairs.
Stairs are fine.
Colonel Rudy's favorite number is 13. All right, 13 folds to the flag, 13 chimes, of our bell at 1 o'clock, right at 1300. And I don't know if he's aware of it yet or not, but when you come up these stairs, there's exactly 13 stairs for each way. This is Colonel Rooney's office here.
Okay.
And he did not want an office this big, but we have so many meetings in here that we had to make the space for it, right? Colonel Rooney, of course, has 5 daughters. I've been with the organization 9 years now, and I've watched the girls grow. The oldest one has just graduated from Notre Dame, and the other one is a Jayhawks girl,
Yeah,
right?
girl.
And then the other 3 are either in high school or in middle school. And so, but 5 girls, so he's got his hands full,
Yes.
right?
I have 4.
Oh, you
daughters.
get it. You get
Yeah,
it.
3 daughters.
You and all
Both
girls?
of us have 5.
All girls?
Kids.
Both have 5. I have 2 boys and 3 girls.
Oh.
My youngest is the boy.
Okay. I came from a family of 5, so I know what it's like. You know, it's fork in first to get, you know, whatever food you want, right? So anyhow, we do have partnerships. Of course, Dan he's an F-16 fighter pilot and a PGA professional, right? And then he's got a relationship with Jack Nicklaus, and of course American Dunes, which is the original location of the very first fundraiser or tournament that Colonel Rooney held to start, Folds of Honor.
That's
for a scholarship.
is that Wisconsin?
It's Michigan.
Michigan.
Grand Haven, Michigan.
It was up north-ish. North
Yes,
area.
it's on the Lower Peninsula.
Gotcha.
So absolutely. So yeah, that's it. And then here is our innovation room. I like to call it the think tank because it's where our marketing team and our other developers will get together and come up on development, relationship building. And it's a great way for the team that's downstairs to come up and also have their meetings also.
Right.
It's fairly big, but it's utilized often.